Okay.
Well,
Guys ready?
yep.
Talk about a movie who is impossible to find on any streaming or any torrent website. Thanks for naming your movie Vacation, assholes. 2015, though. Okay.
Oops.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Chasing Chevy Chase podcast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Tashu from the Culture Cast, and I am joined by my two good friends all the way from the projection booth. Mike?
What?
That was a Rusty Griswold. That was a Rusty Griswold.
Yeah.
That's what he does. That's what Clark Griswold does. He always screams out someone's name as they're standing right next to him. If you guys not, he does that in every single movie. In this movie, he does it with his wife, but in every other one, he does it with Rusty. Your friend and mine, Mike White.
How about giving your dad a goodnight rim job?
And speaking of rim jobs, all the way from the West Coast, where rim jobs are, well, they're part of the eternal handshake. Your friend and mine from Cambridge and Washawn, Mark Begley.
Ed, what's a pedophile?
Good Lord. On this episode of the Chasing Chevy Chase podcast, we take a look at the films of Chevy Chase from a certain time period about the, early 70s to, well, some of the movies, unfortunately, are from the late 2000s. But hey, who's counting, right, Mark Begley? That money was pretty funny. On this episode, it's technically a bonus episode because we're talking about a movie that is the conclusion, of the Vacation series or a reboot. It's the sixth one. That's what matters. We're talking about 2015's reboot, Vacation.
It's a requel.
Requel, yeah. So the film is directed by John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein. They also wrote the script for the film. It stars Ed Helms as a recast Rusty Griswold, because at this point, who fucking cares? And Christina Applegate as his lovely wife. Leslie Mann and Beverly D'Angelo and Chevy Chase round out the rest of the original Griswold clan, Leslie Mann playing Audrey. And yes, this film is more or less Ed Helms' family is falling apart, so he thinks to himself, what is the one thing I could do to fix my family? Go and destroy my family further by going to Wally World, which is hilarious because in this day and age, the conceit of the original film almost doesn't work, except it does. We are going to be spoiling the film. It is in a lot of ways literally just a road trip film to Wally World, but that is probably short selling the film. So, Mike, I am very curious. What did you think of 2015's requel of Vacation?
It was the strangest intro you've ever given on this show.
Good.
Wow. Yeah, you're reaching. I love it. I had a great time watching this movie. This was actually the second time I watched it. I watched the first time on an airplane where there wasn't a lot of good choices. So I said, you know what? Let's watch this stupid Vacation sequel remake. And I thought it was great. I really had a good time with it. Ed Helms is a flavor that I can take or leave. I'm not a huge Helms fan, but I thought he really did a good job being Rusty Griswold. I love Christina Applegate. She was so much fun. Those fucking kids, I really fucking hate Kevin so much, but
I think that's intentional, Mike.
Oh yes, yes. Oh yeah. Definitely intentional.
Or should I call you the G-Man?
Did you just steal my son's nickname?
Yeah.
So fucking awkward. I thought that, I really like a lot of this movie, even from the opening credits with those embarrassing vacation photos. I thought that was a really smart thing to do. And yeah, to bring back the classic theme and everything. And I really like the discussion that they have around the dinner table as to, is this trip to Wally World a sequel or a reboot? And I thought that was
Nobody even remembers the original, Mike.
I thought it was so smart.
It's different.
It was so smart.
See, it's different.
There's a boy and a boy.
Yeah, it's a boy
Son.
and a boy. Yeah. That's one of the funniest lines in the whole movie. It's a boy and a boy, not a boy and a girl.
This one's got a boy and a boy.
So funny. Yeah. And I love that. I found this to be a very charming and fun film. And I just love kind of these gross out type comedies that, I don't see a whole lot of today, like things like Cock Blockers and things like that. I'm like, yeah, this was a good era of comedy And yeah, I'm excited to talk about this film with you guys. How about you, Mark?
I was really looking forward to this one because, as I've mentioned on the show, I'm a fan of these guys' films, their other two films. And I remember when this came out, my wife and I-
They've done so many, Mark.
the
When you say
But to
other
be
two
fair,
films,
this
what are you
was-
talking
But
about?
to be fair, this was their first directorial thing. Everything else
Yeah.
up to this
Oh,
point was
okay.
yeah. I'm
credits.
talking about as directors. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. No problem. You're talking about Game Night and Dungeons and Dragons on
Dungeons
Among
and-
Thieves.
The
Yeah,
Dungeons
yeah.
and Dragons movie is so good. Like,
Yeah. But surprising
Game
that
Night is
I have.
amazing.
Well, Game Night is one of my favorite movies of the
There's
last
no way that's
years.
profitable for the Frito-Lay company.
and by the way, I'm just going to say this here, and this might sound like the most insane, unpopular opinion possible. That Minecraft movie's pretty good. And I guarantee you part of the reason it's a decent movie, better than it had any right to be, is because they're uncredited writers on them, by the way.
Huh.
Yeah. Francis Daly and Goldstein, they're better than Lord and Miller in a lot of ways in terms of writing like a more adult comedy. Because Lord and Miller are like the pop culture comedy guys, but this is a very different breed of comedy.
Yeah. Well, back then I knew nothing. I had no idea that that kid from Freaks and Geeks directed this with his directing partner or whatever. But I was interested in it when I saw the commercials. And I think my wife and I even considered going to see it in the theater, never did. And then when it streamed, we never got around to watching it for some reason. I don't know. I've just kept putting it off. I've always had an interest in watching it. So I was excited for this opportunity and even more excited now because I love Game Night so much. And I really like that Dungeons and Dragons movie. And I thought, oh, this is going to be sharp and funny. And I think I may have built it up a little bit too much because I left the movie a little bit disappointed, I have to say. I enjoyed myself, and it's one of the better things that we have watched definitely in the last 4 or 5 months. I mean, the last handful of shows, which, haven't come out yet, but will by this time, obviously, have been a slog to get through. And this wasn't a slog by any means, but I'm a fan of the gross out comedies too. But something felt off on a lot of the jokes in this, especially the pedophile stuff seemed out of place in this movie. I don't know. It caught me off guard. There was a tonal thing or something going on in my head that wasn't matching up with some of the really off-putting humor. And I got no problems with pedophile jokes or cannibal cow jokes or anything like that. I'm not offended easily, but I just felt wrong in this context. I don't know why. And the other problem I had, I'm not a big Ed Helms fan either. I actually kind of hated him on The Office, but I always felt that Rusty wasn't an idiot like his dad, but he's basically just the Clark Griswold character in this. So that kind of put me off a little. I don't know how you don't do that, but I mean, when I think of Rusty, generally, I think of Anthony Michael Hall in the first movie, and the kid's got his shit together way more than his dad ever does. So that kind of threw me off.
I think that's I think that's the unfair part. Is I think it's meant to be all those. It's meant to be a Rusty amalgamation, right?
Right. I mean, they show the pictures from the
They
films
show all the
with
pictures.
with all the different Rusties.
With no explanation whatsoever. Which is
I mean, he kind of gives a look.
Things.
He kind of gives a look like, that's kind of weird. I look so different in all these pictures, and my age fluctuates throughout the years. But whatever.
What's it like to be Bart Simpson in real life?
Yeah. I don't know. That kind of threw me off, and that was bugging me through the movie. I'm like, does he need to be an idiot? I mean, I guess he kind of does for the movie, for the conceit of a vacation film.
Mm-hmm.
But Rusty's not supposed to be an idiot. So when did he become one? I don't know.
How about
Chris?
you,
How about you?
I like this movie a fair amount. I think, I grew up in the 90s, and so taking road trips and stuff like this was something that I did a lot. Now, my family, nobody was suffocating each other with plastic bags in the back seat, unfortunately. But I do find parts of this movie odd because it feels like this movie was like parts of this movie feel like they were made in the 90s with some of the humor specifically. But I went and looked at other like comedies coming around in 2015. Nobody was making these movies in 2015. Nobody was making a movie like this that was hewing to a time and a place. Like, this entire movie can be picked apart by just going, just get on a fucking airplane. Like, the end. And it's because in this day and age in 2015, even 10 years ago, it's not that expensive to fly, even with your family. And this guy,
well, he's a pilot.
He works for a fucking airline. Like, he could fly his family for free. I have friends that are pilots. That's why I know that. It's a little unbelievable that he's not just like, well, why don't we just fly to Wally World? So I think for me, the conceit is a little wonky of the movie. And I think the wonky conceit of the movie leaches into everything else because the conceit of the movie is almost like, yeah, we know we could take an airplane, but it's vacation. And that's what we're doing.
I mean, it's the meta. I mean, they even
it's the meta. Yeah, it's the meta aspect of the movie. Like, and even if they did do this, even if they didn't hang a lantern on it, it would still, again, like, it still feels like the main conceit of the movie. It's like why I've said this before and I'll say it again. A show like Seinfeld would have a hard time existing today because there are plots of whole episodes of that show where it's like, we couldn't get a hold of Kramer via his home landline. Like, oh no. Thank God we don't live in the time of cell phones. Like, and that's part of this is like, one of these assholes just get on a plane. But at the same time, it's like, you don't get to get chased after by truckers and go into a, raw sewage swamp and all that stuff. So
that raw sewage is good for you now. You don't need any vaccines or something like that.
I am pleading for the loss of vaccines in this country. What's that?
Take a little dip in that, and it's good for you. You can feel the toxins going away.
Your voice sounds, your RFK Jr. sounds like Harvey Firestein. On Harvey Firestein on fire.
Oh, yeah. As long
gargling rocks.
Love each other. Why would you change anything?
Yeah.
Gargling rocks, gargling pieces of fucking glass. Are you a rock? Are you a human rock somewhere? Jeez.
Gargling something.
Gargling something. Pterodactyl over there. I will say, I think for me, my favorite part of the entire movie is Skylar Gazondo.
Oh, I love that kid, man. No. I was so happy. I was so happy. He didn't get to shine quite as much as I was hoping because he plays that like bewildered idiot boy. So
he plays Rusty better than Ed Helms does.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and oh man.
He plays Rusty how Rusty would be played now. Like, because if you're going to do this story, one of them has to be the in touch, with himself millennial or, Gen Zer. And,
his stacks of journals.
I'm sure that's perfectly normal for a boy at his age.
Funny.
Yeah, I love that kid, man. When he shows up and stuff, I'm happy. So
yeah, he's really good in this.
And like you said, I think before we hit record, Mike, that the other brother, you just want to fucking kill him,
But that's, I don't know if y'all have siblings. I mean,
they never had a relationship like that with my sister, but I mean, I get, I know others who with their brothers had that kind of, but it was never like homicidally violent, wrapping his head in a paper or a plastic bag.
Yes, so I do like that move comes back later with the airline pilot's family.
Yeah, Ron
Livingston. Yeah.
Or do you think that the Stone will let us shoot his guns? Yeah, because I want to shoot you in the fucking head. Like,
yes.
Yeah, well, that was, and that's the thing. I think I had said it before we started. I think it was actually not before we started recording, but maybe the last time or maybe several times. I think the thing about this movie that recaptures something about the original, if you think about the original Vacation, it's pretty mean to the Griswold family.
Oh yeah.
Nothing.
Oh, and to the aunt's dog as well.
But nothing in any of those subsequent Vacation films ever reached those heights of meanness to the main characters, other than this movie. And that's the thing. This movie is like, there are a few movies I've seen where they are just so unbelievably mean to the main characters. But that's what I enjoy about it so much, is that it is really, like, in a lot of ways, this movie is the, like, quintessential family road trip from hell. Like, every single time you think they're going to get a reprieve, even when they do get a reprieve, there's yet another fucking thing. Like, I mean, even at the end where they're like, all right, we made it on the ride. We're on the ride. We're going on the ride. And then the ride breaks down and they're upside down for like hours. That, in my mind, is like, that is this movie to a T. It does not pull its punches. And I appreciate that about the movie, because yes, is it a little unrealistic that this entire vacation has gone ape shit? It's unrealistic, sure, but in the vein of these movies, what I would expect from a vacation movie, I guys are going to laugh. I think this might be like my second favorite vacation movie, if not in tie for the first one. Because this one is funny. It's fucked up. It pays homage enough to the original without like recreating scenes whole cloth, which in 2025, that's hard enough to stop yourself from doing, let alone in 2015 at like the height of these kinds of things being remade. This movie is way better than it has any right to be. And for me personally, I actually like this movie a fair amount. This is a movie I've watched separately from doing this show with you guys multiple times. And there are parts of this movie that when I sit and think about them outside of the context of the movie, really are moments of like, man, this movie is really goddamn funny. Like the thing at the four corners. I mean, there are things in this movie where it's like, whoever, like, I know that they were probably just hoping to have an opportunity to do a vacation retread, but why did you guys try so hard? You could have just phoned it in, and you didn't have to at all.
And no one's mentioned the Albanian car yet.
Oh God,
Jesus Christ,
love that. And that Korean shouting thing, it never fails to amuse me. And I love how watching it yesterday with subtitles on, and the Korean will come up and then change to the other thing. I thought that was great. I really enjoyed that stupid car and just how ugly it is. It really it's up there with the Truckster. It's even better than the Truckster, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it has a CB radio in it.
It's got a swastika button. I mean,
yeah, and the cord, that crazy plug that it's got, and that he can never get that thing going. Oh yeah,
that was pretty cool. Well, when they walked out, I was like, oh, that's cute. It kind of looks like the new VW electric bus thing that they've made. I'm like, oh, that's cute. And I'm like, why does it have it? What's the front? It's got two sets of mirrors, and they're pointing in opposite directions.
It really works.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, it does feel like they did more than they had to do, because this could have been a simple reboot of the same thing and just the same darn jokes and all this. And yeah, the beats are very similar. Like when the car finally explodes, that they're in the desert, and it's very similar to when he does the jump thing, but then having the trucker in there. And I thought that was kind of nice. And for me, that felt like a little homage to Christmas Vacation, just with the trucks that's, rolling up on Clark at the beginning of that. And I really like that whole running gag that they've got. And I really like the whole gag that they give when it comes to the really hot girl in the car next to him, that she just gets completely destroyed.
I totally missed that because I paused, or I didn't pause the movie. I was watching with my family, so I let it keep running. But I looked down to write Ferrari girl on my notes, and then I looked up and I'm like, what happened to her? And they're like, she got hit by a car. I'm like, oh, okay. I completely missed it. So
again, the mean spiritedness, and just the cringe in this movie. The cringe is just off the charts.
Yeah.
Rusty, or sorry, not Rusty, because it's, I almost called the kid Rusty. Kevin out there, James out there, the older brother with Adina. And when Ed Helms comes up and just starts trying to be his wingman, that is just the grossest part. That is so terrible.
So that's the question that I have, and that's the thing that I'm curious about, because you guys both mentioned it. The Ed Helms thing is the Office thing, right? That's what it is. It's like the awkward, like office humor, cringe humor. Like that's what Ed Helms brings to the movie. Is that like dope about town, right? But that's the thing. By the end of the movie, you realize he's not actually a dope about town the way Clark Griswold is. And like Clark isn't a dope either, but it's that like ability to disarm the people around you by them thinking you're a dope. Because again, remember in Christmas Vacation, we have the, you got a lot of nerve talking to me like that, Griswold. Like I wasn't talking to you. Like he's right there kicking him back. I mean, he's a dipshit. Like Clark Griswold is the like consummate family man dipshit. I think Ed Helms was the perfect choice for this character because to both of y'all's points, like he is a very specific flavor of comedy. But for the character trying to be like this wholesome dumb fuck, he plays that perfectly because he's such a wholesome out of sorts idiot that it takes an hour and a half of this movie to get to the point where he loses it. And, you know, you expect it in these vacation movies, the moment of being pushed too far, where Clark freaks out. They have it in Christmas Vacation with the, you know, and hallelujah, holy shit. And then in European Vacation, we don't really get it in European Vacation as much, but we get it in the original Vacation, obviously. And I like that in this movie, they have a actor who is more believable than Chevy Chase ever was at playing a wholesome dad who is pushed to his limit by no fault of his own. And that, I think, for me, is like the thing that I appreciate the most about the movie is I think Ed Helms is the best Rusty Griswold because he's like a believable adult who's trying really hard and just keeps failing. And we all know someone who you're like, how are you like this? Like, how can you deal with everything so positively? And it's like, oh, wait, there is even a breaking point for someone like yourself. And that's when he kicks tumbleweeds that have rocks hiding behind them or fire hydrants in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, Helm does bring his energy to it because for a hot second I was thinking that he was in Horrible Bosses, but I was mixing him up with either Jason Bateman or Jason Sudeikis, the Jasons, and
neither of which are who are nice in that movie at all. Sudeikis beats the shit out of Charlie Day in that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. I could only see them in this role other than Helm, but I think that Helms brings something that they don't necessarily have or just a difference that they don't have, and I think that he does a really good job. And I agree, the whole idea of Rusty being an idiot, it's just so necessary to the plot. We have to have him be an idiot, because if he was the smart one, who's going to be the dumb one? It's not going to be Christina Applegate. She just does not play that role. I mean, she can play a ditz, absolutely, but yeah, and other than her, it's like there was a time there where it's like, well, if it's not Christina Applegate, it's going to be Jennifer Aniston. And we already had her in Horrible Bosses. So.
Right. Yeah, I think Sudeikis or Bateman would be they've got a little acerbic tinge to them.
Smug in Bateman's case.
Yeah.
Bateman has Bateman has leaned into the smugness in recent years.
I'm surprised it wasn't him in the Ron Livingston role, personally. And I guess Livingston was just there, like, in Atlanta while they were filming, so they're like, hey, can you be part of this?
Yeah, which is weird because Ron Livingston doesn't work. He might be one of the few things in the movie that I'm like, this guy is hard to find as believably as an asshole. Like,
I think he does a good job.
I like Ron Livingston too much in Office Space, I guess. It's hard for me to see him as anything other than like just like a chill human being. He does play smug well. I just think I think if you had Jason Bateman walking out and it's him opposite Ed Helms, I think you would have been able to really like lay into the smug, even though in Arrested Development, Jason Bateman is the main character, he's a prick in that show. Like, and I
mean, he is an Ozark as well. I mean, he has that underlying. It
is smug. That whole you okay there, buddy? Like that type of thing that he would do. Yeah.
It's interesting. Speaking of Jason Sudeikis, who I like even less than Ed Helms.
Whoa! It's because Mark Bagley hasn't watched Ted Lasso.
You're not a Ted Lasso. No,
we watched one episode, and I'm like, nope.
Wow,
I love Ted Lasso. He is just amazing.
I think he's the best part of that show too. But I also understand not getting on board with his vibes.
I don't know. Hannah Waddington's pretty damn good too, if you know what I mean.
What I was getting at is that he's in a very good road movie with Jennifer Aniston again. We're the Millers.
Yeah.
Is
That's
fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, I was getting a lot of We're the Millers vibes from this. I was also getting a lot of that RV movie that we watched, Chris, with
Thank
Robin
you,
Williams.
Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you. For
Especially when it comes to the trucker who's trying to bring back her wedding ring. He's not nearly the family that who was it? Christian Chenoweth and Jeff Daniels are. But yeah,
what a weird combination, right, Mark Beck?
Yeah. Who really
Jeff Daniels and Kristen Chenoweth as a Mormon family band, traveling Mormon family band in a Airstream. They're the best part of that movie.
They are. They definitely are, and they're the nicest family.
You've got Nick Offerman and who's the gal in Where the Millers? Where they want to swap wives.
Is it Nick Offerman's real life wife? Isn't it?
Oh,
is it Megan
Mulaney?
Is Mullally? I can't remember.
I've only saw that movie once. I only saw that movie in theaters once. I think
I just watched it again recently.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty fucking funny.
I always see pictures of Will Poulter in that meme, and I'm like, that's the same guy who's in The Bear.
He's great
That's
in it.
the same guy who's in Guardians of the Galaxy as Adam Warlock. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He very much has Skylar, whatever that kid's last name is, energy in that movie. Very much so.
No, it's Catherine Hahn, who's
yeah.
Yes, a couple.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay. It was, in fact, Agatha all along.
Was Will Poulter? I'm sorry to take us completely off. He was in Black Mirror, wasn't he? Was he the guy from
he was in the Bandersnatch episode,
yes, okay. Thank you. I remember him getting so much shit. People were just like, this guy's so ugly. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what? Will Poulter? Like, leave him alone. And then I'm like,
interesting look. I don't know.
He does have an interesting look, and I think they emphasized it for that episode. Yeah, and I really like. He came back in that episode with Peter, the Doctor Who guy, the Scottish guy. Peter Capaldi comes back in that episode, and it was great seeing that character again.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one. Is that one of the newer seasons?
Yeah, it was just on this latest season. And apparently Bandersnatch, there's shit canning, so you can never watch it again.
Guess what? I've never seen a single episode. Black Mirror.
Okay.
Good stuff.
I know, which is surprising, right? Given the amount of time I've spent watching shows like that.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Well.
The Chasing Chevy Chase podcast?
Oh, no.
Twilight Zone 85.
I was about to say, I've been watching, anthology shows for going on like a decade now for pop culture content. So,
yeah. I would say it leans strongly into hits versus misses.
Oh, definitely.
I think we're only halfway through the prior season, so we need to finish that up and hit the new one. But it's got some good stuff, man.
There's some really good episodes in this latest season.
Is the very first episode the Rory Kinnear one?
Who's Rory Kinnear?
Balding British actor
from James Bond, from Men.
Yeah, he was in Men.
I don't think so. I think it was Chris Dowd and I can't remember who the woman was.
Chris Dowd.
Yeah.
Okay.
From the IT
For
crowd.
some reason, that was...
Mike, I posted pictures on my Facebook and you didn't like them.
I love I can't call them cameos in here, but just these snarly girls.
They're effectively extended cameos.
Colin Hanks is a cameo for sure. I mean,
why is Colin Hanks in this fucking movie?
I don't know, but I kind of love it. And then the whole thing
fuck away from my family.
With the Four Corners with Nick Kroll, Tim Heidecker, Caitlin Olsen, and Michael Pena. I'm just like, what the hell? This is amazing. And like each one keeps showing up, and I was like, oh my God.
It reminded me very much of Anchorman, where you have and here's Tim Robbins, and here's Ben Stiller, and
here's Will Smith. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Wow, Mike. I was talking about the good Anchorman. Here's Harrison Ford. Turning into a werewolf, if memory serves. Is that right?
I don't know.
I believe he's a lycanthrope.
I don't think I ever made it through the first Anchorman. That's how much I disliked it.
Oh man, the first one's great. Speak.
It's pretty funny.
Speaking of, they were talking Will Ferrell in this role as Rusty, and I don't think his energy would have been good either because he does that whole "now I'm talking loud" thing, and I'm like, no, quit doing that.
Yeah, but what about Elf?
Elf works for me. Elf really works for
Right,
me.
but what if he had that kind of energy here?
Oh, that kind of like dumb man-child
I
thing?
mean,
Yeah.
again. I mean, there's a scene in this movie where they're in a motel that looks like it is from hell. There are mushrooms growing in the drain,
Oh,
and
God.
Rusty goes,
It's a
"Should we
pubic
get?
hair."
Yeah, should we get in?" And it's like, "Are you stupid, motherfucker? Like, what?" And
He
he's
just
like,
wants to
hey,
get laid.
I
Say
Hey,
know.
a horny man will go to great lengths.
Oh,
Horny Ed Helms, even.
A horny man will use a a pile of pubic hair from different people. Oh my God.
From different people.
As a
And I
Brillo
love-
pad.
Oh, I mean, yeah, gross out. I love how fucking gross this movie can get at times.
Yeah.
And like going back to the Four Corners thing, that horror moment when it's like, hey, it's our turn next, and you see all of those people there.
Yeah, I
It's like
wasn't
a
sure
scene
what
out
was
of
gonna-
Hereditary.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wasn't sure what was going to happen there to foil their plan. I knew it was going to be something, but that was not on my bingo card. I'm like,
No.
that was good.
And the grossness of all the puking with Christina Applegate when
God,
she's trying to do that challenge. And I just love Ed Helm finding out about what she was like before Debbie.
How do you not know that?
Yes. And that whole thing of like, she put her finger in the dean's dick and yes, and later on, like, do you want me to put my finger in it? And I'm just like,
In what? And he goes, in what?
right. I mean, I could see one up the bum, but in the dick hole, that's no.
That's,
I don't know.
There was a very famous reaction video on the internet when I was in high school called Kids in a Sandbox that had a woman doing that with a slender butt plug to a man. By the way, his reaction, my line reading is as follows. And scene. Yeah, that's the only time I've ever heard anybody say that in a movie. Like, I heard you put a finger in the dean's dick. Like, what?
Oh God! I mean,
The other thing I hit you on
it
top of that,
sounds-
coins fly out of your
Just
ass.
fly out, yes. And then that picture at the
Get
end.
callback.
Yeah,
Yes.
That for me, honestly, is the sign of a quality comedy. Is if there are callbacks
Mhm.
and like the callbacks aren't super forced and ham-fisted. And this movie has some really great callbacks, I think, throughout. And I get, John Francis Daley and Goldstein, like the two of them together, it's just smart writing. And look, so many people only know John Francis Daley from like showing people the goat
Bones, yeah.
Waiting. That's what I knew him from. Is the goat in Waiting?
He'll always be the Freaks and Geeks kid to me.
See, yeah. Well,
I like see his face. That's all I think of.
Whenever I see him,
I never
on
watched
Sweets. Yeah, his
I never
character's name
watched
was
Bones,
Sweets
so-
in that one. Yeah.
I will always remember him as the character from Kitchen Confidential, the TV show based on the Anthony Bourdain book, where he plays a Mormon sous chef that essentially is at the restaurant and was part of the old staff, and now Bradley Cooper has to like hire him on just because, and he plays like dopey dipshit Utah like Mormon perfect. So John Francis Daley, he's I don't know, I think he's really underrated in terms of like, because I know Lord and Miller get mentioned a lot in terms of like comedy writers and comedy duos, but John Francis Daley and Josh Goldstein just like nail it everything that they write.
I completely agree. Yeah, I really like their writing, and I think they do a good job with the direction as well. I think they really handle that, and they make some very smart choices in here, things that I wouldn't necessarily expect. Like, I did not expect when Helm does the handbrake maneuver, what would happen with that. That is amazing. I love seeing that car just end over end so many times.
Well, and I don't think he follows his own because he pulls the handbrake too fast, right? The description of what he's going to do doesn't match what he does in the movie, but I don't know that for whatever reason, I'm like, I think you did it wrong, guy.
Just that he thinks he can pull it off too.
Right.
Yeah.
The trucker thing just made me think of Duel, of course.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I mean, there's of course, I can't think of any of them, other examples where you have this threat throughout. And I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, what is this going to turn into? Because first of all, how would he know that it was them on the CD, right? That's what the instigation for this whole thing.
I heard all truckers are rapists.
Yeah. So when the kid, when the jerk kid does this stuff, it's like, well, how would the trucker know that it's the car right in front of him? So what are they worried about?
Right.
So, I knew in my mind, he's not after them. It's something else. What is it going to be? And, it's the whole thing with the ring. And, but I do like that they hit that again with the pedophile thing with the bear. You never explained what the bear on the front of your truck is for.
It's for the kids to put them at ease.
Yes. Oh, you have kids.
No.
No.
And having Reedus playing that role, I thought that was really smart.
2015 Norman Reedus, baby.
Oh.
There are a few people bigger at the time than Norman Reedus in 2015.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, but he wasn't showing up in a ton of stuff. I mean, he was big for one thing,
right?
And it's spinoff. So
you guys are talking about the what's that movie?
Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints, right?
Yeah. That's
yeah.
Not the TV show on AMC that the fans watched for like a fucking half a decade. Look,
I think I hate watched 2 seasons, and I'm like, why am I doing this?
I think as I sit and reflect on Ed Helms, and Mark, you mentioned the scene in the movie, and it's the singular scene in the movie that is a retread of the original film. It is the woman in the Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
Even that scene is so mean-spirited.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think it points out for me the biggest success of the movie, which is these people feel like a believable family taking a road trip together. And Ed Helms, I think, is the main reason, because unlike Clark Griswold, because remember how Clark reacts in that scene? Like, you genuinely believe Clark is like taken aback by this woman giving him attention. Ed Helms like shows her his ring, like, and everything. Like, he doesn't make any bones about it. He doesn't pretend anything. He doesn't even like make goo eyes at her. And there seems like there's a cut in there, like that they cut off a little bit of what happens when she like blows him a kiss. It seems like they maybe cut it just a little bit to reinforce that he's not actually interested, but it then just cuts to him going like this and like waving her off. And I just think to myself, when Clark Griswold did that, if not for the fact that he had a family, Clark Griswold would run off with her. I don't think Ed Helms would run off with this woman at all.
Right.
And I think that for me is the biggest success of this movie. And again, I complained about it a lot with the other vacation movies, is I didn't find Chevy Chase, for as much as I like him as an actor, I understand that it was the atypical choice to cast him, because it's like, whoa, Chevy Chase is a family man. Like, I actually prefer the idea of casting someone believably as a family man and just ratcheting up the tension on him the entire movie like a pressure cooker, to the point where it's like, I have no choice but to freak out. I have no choice but to scream and yell. And even Ed Helms' freak out moment in this movie feels more believable, because Chevy Chase, it's like simmering anger throughout the movie because he's always quipping off with somebody, with Eddie at Walmart or Kmart or wherever the hell they are in Christmas Vacation, with the dog food and stuff. It's just like, how in God's name is Chevy Chase allowing this man to put these giant bags of dog food in his cart without saying anything? Ed Helms, I would believe he's not going to say anything. Chevy Chase, on the other hand, it's like, this is the guy who quips with everybody. Like, why isn't he saying anything? And here it's like, well, I believe Ed Helms is a family man, and that extends throughout the movie, because this movie in a lot of ways feels like it's actually trying to give the Griswold family a story and like a through line and like somewhat of a narrative, as opposed to just like vignette sitcom comedy, which I think the original, at least past maybe the first one, that's kind of what it felt like, or these like little, vertical vignettes that are all just kind of stacked on top of each other, especially with European Vacation. My God, like, I went and rewatched that after this movie, and I was like, man, European Vacation, because I wanted to see because I wanted to see how well it hung together scene to scene, because this movie hangs together really well scene to scene, because it almost feels like there's always a through line from the last scene into the current scene and then out into the next scene, and they're always doing callbacks with stuff or like foreshadowing, like in the scene with Chris Hemsworth. Ed Helms is like, why is the crotch of the It's so stretched out.
Yes.
And then there comes Chris Hemsworth with his fat fucking dong. Like,
Massive cock.
Enormous schlong.
I hope it's that. It's got to be his real wiener. I hope. Like,
Oh, man.
I don't think so, but
I hope.
if it is, good on you, Chris.
Good on him.
Just him in those underwear and like
Always put
all
his
the
leg up.
putting his leg up, and I'm just looking at that 6-pack on. Oh my god, this man is just made out of marble. This is crazy.
Well, and the punchline, of course, that Ed Helms is like, he just came in to show off his six-pack.
Yes.
Six-pack, and that's what he thinks he's showing off.
Yes, yeah,
Not as the giant dick.
yeah. And I love Leslie Mann. I just find her to be one of the cutest ladies ever. And just her, I'm like, good on you, girl, for bagging this guy. But I do like this whole thing of, and then I can get a job. It's like, no woman of mine's going to have a job. And I'm like, oh, geez.
Not as long as I have breath in my lungs.
And the cow thing, man, I did not see that coming. I did not know how they were going to do this with this cow stuff. And oh my God. And then the thing, like you're talking about, Chris, with the bonding, when they all start to get in on the jokes and start, like, let's move on, like those kind of things, like,
Steer
clear of that. And yeah, I mean, we talked in the first Vacation, this whole thing of Clark with this hot girl, Christy Brinkley, like giving him eyes, and she comes back a few times, and then the whole, this is crazy thing. And I'm like, dude, you got Beverly D'Angelo like right next to you. What the fuck are you thinking? And in this one, he's smart enough. He knows that he's got Christina Applegate in the car with him. And it's like, she is the catch, man. Like nothing else can compare to that.
No. Fucking
and Debbie will do anything.
Come
So
on.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And on top of everything else, that, to your point, Mike, I think it once again goes back to the idea of like the storytelling conventions have changed so much since the original film, because that was like one of the reasons that the original film I felt like was so successful, is because Chevy Chase is cast atypically, and in that first movie I think is the only time it really worked, because by the time we hit Christmas Vacation, I'm like, this guy is like, oh, he's really entrenched in the holiday season. Like real Chevy Chase couldn't have fucking be bothered less. Like and that's the issue I have. It's like, I'm not saying the real person has to be believable, but in a role like this, there has to be that level of wholesomeness that if you're gonna write him this way, where he just becomes the harried father by the end, it's got to be somebody who can, I don't know, like Ed Helms, his character on The Office, Andy, was always like very unflappable, but it took a lot to get to that point, and that is, I think, for me, like, if you're going to write this version of Rusty Griswold, where he is his father's son, less his mother's son, but he's clearly his father's son, like, it's weird, because I think maybe the one thing about this movie is he doesn't feel like he could be the children of Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's maybe the one knock against this movie, and that brings me to Chevy Chase. In this movie,
he shows up an hour and 21 minutes into the film.
Times were tough for Mr. Chase in 2014, it would seem.
Apparently.
Whoa. He looks
shocked.
Rough.
Yeah, he did. I was actually surprised, because I'm like, does he even look that bad now?
No, he looks just like himself now. Like, he looks,
I'm like, was he
gone?
He in the bottle?
I don't.
He looked bloated in the way alcoholics look bloated to me. I don't know. It struck me as strange.
It looked like he was wearing a cowl around his head, and you could just see his face. Like, he was so, like, yeah, he looked like bloated, and that's what I thought. I was like, is he alcoholic? Like, I don't know what's going on, because you see him now, he just looks like a normal guy again. Like, for this one moment for a while, he didn't even look like that on Community.
No. Yeah.
Was this around that time? I can't remember where he was at in his career at this moment.
When was Community on?
Community was on from like 2009 to 14. So this was essentially, he was probably filming this as he was getting fired from Community.
Yeah. So maybe he was hitting the bottle after that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's got to be my assumption, because he looks nothing like this now. And this is like other than the fact that he looks weird, and
Guys,
I don't know if I needed them in this movie.
How did we miss this 2015 TV movie called Chevy, directed by Ben Taylor, written by Brad Copeland, starring Beverly D'Angelo and Chevy Chase? What the fuck is this? I've never seen this. The social life of a pair of selfish retired baby boomers is thrown for a loop when their grandchildren move in with them. Sounds like Fish.
Which is what everybody wanted.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We didn't watch it because it's a TV movie that was a pilot for a show called Chev and Bev.
Oh my God! Wow. Yeah, this was also the same year of
Begley over there.
This is the same year as Hot Tub Time Machine 2, which I think I saw, but I don't remember.
I saw the first one.
Either of the.
He plays the hot tub repairman.
Yes,
who's like meta talking like about the movie in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think though, other than.
And why are they in San Francisco? You asked why are they in this? Why are they in San Francisco?
Yeah, that's a choice.
Why weren't they just in Chicago? Why weren't they at the beginning of the movie?
Well, I guess because they had to be at the end to give him the family truckster.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the Skyfall moment of the film.
I mean, really, to your point, they could have flown out, stayed there with the grandparents. The grandparents would have loved it. They have plenty of room since they're running a B&B of all things.
Yeah.
And then could have loaned them the truckster as any sort of transportation. It would have been perfect.
Right. True.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I plan better vacations.
I can honestly say I've never driven that far in a car with my family. Thank God.
When I was 5, we took a big road trip all the way across the country. But since I was 5, I have no real memories of it at all.
How is it that I, the youngest of the three of us, have more road trip experience than either of you? I mean, you guys grew up in the golden age of the road trip.
We live out in the middle of bumfuck Egypt.
I live in Dallas. I grew up in Dallas, Texas.
We would
far from bumfuck anything.
Our summer trip was from here to Portland, which is about a 12-hour drive, and there's not a whole lot to do in that 12 hours. So we would stop and see some of my dad's family sometimes, but that's about it. I guess we could have hit, trying to think of what theme parks are on the way there. Knott's Berry Farm and Great America. Wait, is it Great America? Is that the name of that park? I can't even remember. But anyway.
It's not Wally World.
We never... No, and Wally World's not Wally World.
Yeah. No, Wally World is like Six Flags, Magic Mountain.
Exactly. I did
like the first one, Magic Mountain. I think in this one it was the one in Atlanta somewhere.
Yeah,
I believe.
I like the callback to the Chariots of Fire theme when they're waiting in line for so many hours. And that just reminded me of the times I would go to Cedar Point, which is can't say local, it's about 2.5 hours away, theme park, and just those long fucking lines. God. And when the girl comes up and changes the sign from 1 hour wait to 2 hours, I'm like, oh, I can feel that so hard, man.
Yep.
I'm honestly surprised part of the movie wasn't them being more at Wally World and they didn't take advantage of kind of the hijinks that could happen there.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get that because I'm like, oh, it's actually open and they're in there. So what are we going to do? And then it's just,
but it just is
straight to the ride.
It's straight to the Velociraptor. That's the thing that he's been building up this whole time. And they wait for at least 5 hours for this stupid thing and then get right up there and get it snatched away. And I kind of like that it's that rather than the whole, I'm going to go kidnap Mr. Disney and this guy, So I was glad for that. And yeah, I thought that they handled that very well, having the fight and then having them get in the ride and then taking it away from them. Like you said, it is so mean-spirited and they just fuck them over whenever they possibly can.
I think it would have been funnier if they had gotten arrested because they fought those people and they just couldn't go to Wally World on the ride because they were in like Wally World jail.
True.
Because that's always whenever I always think that like that's where the movie goes because they're like literally beating the shit out of each other. But then they just like Ron Livingston and his family just like fuck off. They just they just run away and it's like wait what is like how and they would not let them fight out in the open at a American theme park like.
Wow, John Francis Daly's a very poor security guard there. He just wants to run that ride.
That one cutaway shot of John Francis Daly is pretty great. You're just like, what the fuck?
I think the use of Charlie Day in this movie is wonderful too.
Yes.
I love his role in this. And I love that whole thing. Where he will make up like little dialogues, like, "Oh, and this kid's like, whoa, whoa, whoa."
Yeah. You picked the wrong kid, man.
"Oh yeah, he's so nervous." No, I'm just kidding. And like his whole manic approach to thing, the Pepe Sylvia of it all, just that.
Right.
Oh, it's so good. And then the phone call and the use of the song during that whole part, I just thought it was great. That sequence is just gold to me. And I kind of like that they don't have to show us them getting out of the water and walking all the way back to the car, because you just know already it's like, oh, this is going to be so fucking miserable for them.
Yeah. I always forget about the Charlie Day scene because it's again, and the movie's, I will say the movie's 2 hours long. And so there are some things you could have taken out that are kind of vignette adjacent. I think that's one of them. Not that I dislike it, but it's, like
kind of, it's like upping the ante, because what do they do in the first one when they get to the Grand Canyon? They stand there and look at it real quick and then they're gone.
right.
So
and they hang a lantern on that in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just going to stop and see it. Like,
they're hitting those marks. They're trying to one up themselves in a way over that movie. Just like with the scene in the desert is the same kind of thing, where it's not just, him walking through the desert, with a truck shows back up and chases him through the desert for some reason.
yeah.
So, but they're hitting those marks, but really maybe forcing it a little more to go up that notch, because, a modern audience can't just have Ed Helms trudging through the desert.
No, but they can't have Ed Helms putting shit mud on his face with a human ear hanging off his head.
Oh God.
Well, she gets it in her face. She eats it.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
spitting it out. He's spitting the water out.
But she's
It's
putting
all good
poop
for
in her
you.
mouth.
Nothing wrong with this water.
Raw sewage is perfect.
How much red dye 40 do you think is in it?
Oh, I do like that Rusty is a pilot, because it does seem like the road trip aspect of the original movies was not lost on Rusty as a human being. And I like that was like, well, the logical next step for the guy whose family was taking on all these like family road trips is to become a pilot. And I like that again, because we've described him as a dope and a man-child, but at the end of the movie you realize like he's turning down all these opportunities just to be with his family.
Yeah.
Right.
And like that moment is, we never got that in the original movie. We honestly, in my mind, I always felt like Clark Griswold was annoyed by his family. No matter what he said, no matter what he did, no matter how they tried to characterize him, he was never a family man who loved being a family man. Ed Helms, like, I don't think he's suited for anything else, and that's made very abundantly clear. And that's the other thing I really appreciate about Ed Helms in this movie is like he never breaks with the character until he absolutely has to. But throughout the movie, you really get the sense that he's like, he just loves his family. He just loves his family, like more than anything else. He's doing all this for his family, not for any other ill-gotten gain or any reason.
Even though they don't want it.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm glad that, I've been talking a lot about static characters and dynamic characters lately, and that the little brother becomes more of a dynamic character after that incredibly violent fight. That is, oh my God, that I had to look away a few times, like when he's rubbing his lips, and oh God, that was just the violence was untenable. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. No, that was pretty perfect actually for that actor in that role. It made sense. Little slaps and pinches and rubs
and the reaction. I think the girl that plays Adina does a fantastic job too. She just gives such great reactions, and I love when she comes up and just goes, "I have a penis."
You know that there are some boys born with a vagina, Mike. It is okay.
It's okay, Russ.
Why are you making it like I have one?
Right. So good.
I would watch another one of these movies. I would watch it. I don't think we'll ever get another one.
Well,
I
think so now. Not with her condition. Not with this same cast. Yeah.
Well, there's
could have Rusty Griswold as a widower.
Jesus, that's dark, man. That's real dark.
I don't know.
Or
this movie's mean spirited as fuck, for fuck's sake. Like,
or pass the torch to Skylar, and he can be the new. I mean, he's not
Oh God,
really
okay.
young. He's not that young, so
That's
No,
true.
he, an
It's
adult
10
by now.
years ago. Yeah,
True. Yeah.
yeah. Where's the 10th anniversary re-release of this film? Come on.
Yeah, Skylar Gazondo is 28, so he was 18 at the time when this movie came out. 17.
He appears younger than that in the film.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
we'll be seeing him here pretty soon. I guess do you guys? Oh, I guess I saw him in the most recent season of Righteous Gemstones. I guess.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you guys watched that at all, but like
I don't.
He's really good in that. Like I think to your point, Mike, like, and Mark, like, I think that would probably be the right way to do it, is have Skylar Gazondo just take that on as the next one. It makes more sense than anything else.
Third generation.
Why not?
Yeah, I don't know.
And he'll be believable as a dipshit, but lovable.
I could definitely see him as a lovable dipshit in that. Yeah,
We'll get lots of inner monologues with his journal writing and stuff.
Audrey was Kevin was mean to me today. This is all Griswold.
I mean, the whole thing of like, I don't know if he would actually put that in there. He would probably just be talking more about like the flowers that he saw on the way home or something ridiculous.
Adina hasn't written in quite a while.
Yes, but the whole thing of like, you know, the two brothers, and like that could be his whole thing, is like getting to, you know, Kevin's house, you know, for them to be reunited. It kind of reminds me almost of that like Step Brothers movie. Was that another Will Ferrell movie?
Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
Yeah. Well, weren't they also? Oh, I'm thinking of the one with him and not the other guys, but him and Marky Mark.
Daddy's Home.
Oh, Daddy's Home.
Yeah.
And then Daddy's Home 2 featuring Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. Yeah.
Great.
Perfect.
And also had John Lithgow, though, to be fair, playing Will Ferrell's father, which is the best part of that movie.
Oh, that's a good combo.
John Lithgow is so funny in that movie because he plays like a super like wholesome nebbish dad to Will Ferrell's John Lithgow, man. Well, John Lithgow's amazing in everything.
Yes, he is.
So
For some reason, when you said John Lithgow, I thought John Lovett, and I was like, okay, I wouldn't have called that.
Do you
All
sleep in the nude? Only when I'm naked. That's what I think when I think of John Lovitz for fucking Loaded Weapon as the Joe Pesci, whatever the hell the Joe Pesci character is from Lethal Weapon 3.
Leo Getz.
Yeah. Still never seen that Lethal Weapon.
Oh, you are not missing anything.
I know, that's literally why I haven't watched it, Mike, is because you have never said a single positive thing of it.
Boy, if you want to end up hating Joe Pesci by the end of a movie.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, my God. He's so annoying in that.
Yeah. Oh.
Isn't he in two of them?
Yeah, they brought him back for the fourth. Yep.
Yeah.
And they put him and Chris Rock together, and they both complain about the same things. It's like when you go to the drive-through, man. Yeah, it's like, oh God,
People drive like this. Black people drive like this.
Yeah.
God. Remakes, everybody. We never got that Lethal Weapon 5. We never got Vacation 7, I guess. That's what this would be. 7 Vacation movies.
There's still time.
There is. There will always be time. As long as there is a Hollywood industry willing to remake shit, there will always be time. Just you won't be able to have Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo in it probably in the next 10 years.
She still looks, as far as 10 years ago, she still looked great.
She did.
She's just not given anything to do.
No. It's a wasted scene, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I can't say it's really fan service. I mean, it really doesn't need to be there. Like, Regis could just have dropped them off at the park just as easily. It's a little respite. And then you do get that moment that you're talking about as far as, you know, this is why I don't take those jobs. He finally sees that she's not been reading The Help, that she's reading this thing about, you know, is your marriage crumbling kind of thing. So it's like, all right, you know, that's a good scene. But again, that could have happened someplace else.
I just have to insert this little personal information. My wife will probably hate me, but when the slipcover fell off of her book, my marriage is my marriage dying or something like that. My wife had her reading glasses on and she's like, is my vagina dying? Is that what that says? My daughter and I just about lost it.
Well, that's
I
funny.
guess it applies, I guess.
I have to say the whole thing with the Seal song is really good. And I like how that becomes this running thing. And then when they're on the ride, they are the ones that initiate the song.
Right.
I thought that was really good. But I really like the first time when he's in between the lines of the song and he keeps like turning and talking to his family. It's like the timing of that is really nice.
Well, and that them bringing it up on the roller coaster kind of goes back to what you guys were saying about the family unit in this seems a lot more
That's part of the focus.
Yeah, them going on with the cow jokes and
yeah.
I know the brothers whatever hate each other or whatever's going on there, but as a family, they're a lot more connected than any of the prior iterations of Griswold families. So it is nice. I didn't really catch on to that as I was watching it, but when you give all those examples, when you give all those examples, it makes sense. It's like, well, let's have them be an actual family and where this makes sense. I mean, the conceit doesn't make sense, but that they're taking a road trip, but still, as a family, they make sense.
As I say, I have to kind of, give it away a little bit. Like my feelings towards Chevy Chase and the original Vacation movies are slightly colored by this movie because of how successful I find Ed Helms to be in this movie. But that's also because, again, like when you actually get to the idea of having these people be a family together, you can actually mine it more in a more substantive way and less of just a surface level, like, we're going to have it build, and then Chevy Chase is going to freak out. Like in this, there's a lot more of there's a concerted effort going on here to kind of show the connection between these people. And by the end of it, like, yes, their whole trip has been a nightmare, but they came together as a family. And like, ultimately that ends up being like the point of the story.
To beat up another family. I mean, that's what families do. That's what families do.
That's how you bond.
The only person who can be mean to you is me.
Right. No, it makes more sense to have a loving dad instead of one that feels saddled by his family.
Yes.
Which I think is the connection that you personally, Chris, miss in the Chevy Chase films.
Yeah.
I buy it more, I guess, for whatever reason. But yeah, it makes sense. He does feel, even though I buy him as a dad, it does feel like they're pushing that, I'm stuck with these people. Maybe not so much with Beverly D'Angelo, but definitely with the kids.
Right.
Like, he seems like he forgets that they're there half the time.
Rusty?
Yeah. I mean, and to be fair, in the original Vacation, and honestly, God, in the original Vacation and in Christmas Vacation, not so much Vegas, not so much European, they actually feel like kids. And in this, it's like they're actually kids. Like, that's the other thing. Like, in Vegas Vacation, they're adults, essentially. Like, they're adult children. Like, Rusty and Audrey are adult children. In European Vacation, they're adult children. Like, I know they're supposed to be in high school, but they feel like fucking adults. And that's the thing here. Like, here again, you have more space to mine it if you actually have them be like young kids, like, because there's directions you can go. But at the same time, you could have had two adults traveling with their parents. I think it would have been a different dynamic and it would have been interesting and a different. So I would like to see another one of these movies. Again, I don't think we'll ever get one, but road trip movies just aren't a thing anymore. It's kind of a shame.
I'm curious to see, because I haven't seen it yet, and don't give me any hints, but I am curious to see how Ethan Embry plays Rusty in the Vegas Vacation film, because that'd be him looking at all those pictures and stuff just made me think, oh yeah, they're all so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Ed Helms does a good job synthesizing, again, because I have seen it, but to your point, I won't ruin it. He does a good job of taking a little bit from each of them and kind of rolling it into something that by the end of it, you're like, yeah, I mean, it's not the same guy, but it feels enough like.
How would Ethan Embry have been in that role?
That is the question. Why not just cast Ethan Embry? Like,
well, I know they went to Anthony Michael Hall and maybe
Johnny Galecki.
Yeah, to be in. I guess
Johnny Galecki doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, well, no, he doesn't. But
Johnny Galecki couldn't say no and show his $100 bills in your face. He doesn't have to do anything.
Anthony Michael Hall does not have the same vibe he does now that he had when he was in those 80s movies.
Evil dies tonight, Mark.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know how that would have worked at all, but yeah. So,
what about Jason Lively?
Does he?
He doesn't even act anymore.
I haven't seen that guy in anything.
But he was technically acting in like 2015.
Okay. Well, good on him.
I think for me, of the Rusties we've seen so far, other than, again, because like you said, Mark, you haven't seen him in Vegas Vacation, I think I do like Jason Lively's Rusty a fair amount. Johnny Galecki's Rusty just feels too much like Chevy Chase.
He's a little bit
Like, you
smart.
gotta go feed the hog, gotta wash the dog, like all that. Like that is like he's more his father's son in that movie. But like in European Vacation, he has a little bit of his own autonomy. I mean, he goes out and he goes, he's getting ass at one point, then he's getting ass again. That's the whole movie, is just him getting ass. Like,
It actually makes better sense though that it is none of them.
Mhm.
It is a whole new actor.
Continue
It
the
works.
trend.
It works.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that makes sense. They shouldn't even have considered bringing someone back for that. It should
No,
just
but it
been
could have been
automatically.
funny. You could have had some other jokes with that they could have mined.
Yeah. True.
Mhm.
And we're
I mean, the look-
Deadpool here, so they could have had some meta-ness, right?
Yeah. The looking at the picture scene could still be in there, and it would take a totally different tone. Like, who are these other guys? I recognize this one, but who are these two?
Or if everybody that he meets says, "Oh, you look so different," or like, as he could have said that to Leslie Mann as well.
You aged really well. You haven't aged a day since the last time I saw you. I mean, again, it's just a different direction to go with things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're about to enter into some weird territory because I don't think I've seen any of these remaining films. Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left, and I've not seen
I've seen one of them.
a moment
I have seen-
of any of them.
I saw Memoirs of an Invisible Man in the theater on the strength of John Carpenter.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Begley is still scarred to this day.
Yeah, I don't remember much about it at all. I don't necessarily remember not liking it, although I never saw another John Carpenter or Chevy Chase film in the theater. So maybe I really hated it. I don't know.
Well, that's the other thing, and I think Mike kind of just mentioned it. We are now in the home stretch of our show, and most of these movies that we're going to be talking about are pale comparatives to what we've talked about, even with Funny Money, which I know, like, Funny Money is one of the worst things I've ever seen and ever talked about professionally for this show. But Memoirs of an Invisible Man, Cops and Robertsons, The Man of the House, like none of those movies were moving the needle for anybody. And that's I'm interested to see, as we get into this last leg of our podcast, like Chevy Chase's star power, how much further can it carry him? How much further can we go, Chevy?
I am not looking forward to the last 4 at all. So we'll see. Hopefully something jumps up and surprises me.
Richard Dreyfuss Chevy Chase movie, it could surprise us. You never know.
I hope so. I'm hoping for surprises.
I'm over here feeling like I've got a big swinging dick because I'm like, oh, I've seen a lot of John Carpenter since Memoirs of the Invisible Man. Theatrically, I went to see, how's this for a lineup? Village of the Damned, Escape from L.A., Vampires, Ghosts of Mars, and I think that was the last thing of his that I saw.
Ghosts of Mars.
I only seen Vampires within the last 10 years or so. I haven't seen any of those other films.
Vampires is
Of all of those movies, Ghosts of Mars is the only one I really actually kind of like. So
Vampires is I watched it, I think maybe 2 weeks ago. Bad movie.
I like the idea of it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. And I love Gregory Sierra. Isn't he in that too?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Chano's in that movie.
Yeah, that was great. And Cheryl Lee, but James Woods just kind of tanks that. And this was pre him losing his mind, James Woods. Yeah. And I was just like, he doesn't work in this movie.
Pre him losing his mind, post him losing his ability to act, though. It would seem.
Well, hold on a second. I have to verify that because, this is pre 9/11. Okay.
Did James Woods do 9/11? I'm not saying he did, but where was he on the day?
Well, he thinks that he saw a dry run for 9/11 1 week prior, and he will tell anybody about that.
Of course. Yeah.
Dry run, huh?
Because he's smarter than you are. So
him and John Voight, I bet.
Oh yeah.
And Robert
aren't they running the cabinet of Hollywood or something?
I don't think Woods is involved, but I think it's definitely Voight, who's that guy that produced Baby Geniuses, Steve Paul, I think his name is. Who else is in there? Is it Mel Gibson and Sly Stallone? I'm so sad about Sly. Just like, what are you doing associating yourself with this?
Hey,
I mean, you know.
I need money. Tulsa King's not paying me enough.
Yeah.
AMC is probably not backing up the Brinks truck full of money to Sly's house to go film in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, he's making those straight to video movies. There's one called, I think, Armor that was just pretty wretched.
Mike, at least I was in movies. Better to have been in movies than to not be in them at all, even if they are Chuck Norris level VOD films.
That's what they say, yeah.
That's what Bruce Willis used to say.
Mhm.
That was mean, right?
That was really, really mean. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No offense meant. I don't think, anyways.
Offense taken.
Offense taken.
That just made me think. I wonder if Red Letter Media has taken down those videos they did on Mel Gibson.
Oh, yeah.
wow.
Wait, no, not Mel Gibson.
I mean,
Brucey boy.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis.
Oh,
Where they're just like tearing into his movies for an hour and a half and trying to find them as like scams, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were just trying to figure it out, but then shortly thereafter, you know.
Oh, it was like a week later, it felt like. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very quickly afterwards. And it's like, oh, yeah, got dementia.
How do you feel now? How do you feel now, Mike Wazowski?
Get rid of those. Get rid of those videos.
Always watching you, Mike Wazowski.
Anything else we want to talk about with Vacation 2015?
This may be the last good movie we watch.
What do I have to look forward to?
Oh, my friend.
Oh, boy.
I mean, it might be. I could have said that after any number of movies that we've watched for this.
There have been
might be the
ebbs and flows with this show.
yeah.
'Cause,
we ebbed today. We ebbed. Is
yeah.
ebb the better thing?
Flow or
Ebb better or flow? I don't know. Which one's better? I guess ebb is going
That's
out.
when the tide goes out, yeah.
Yeah. So flow. This was a
Flow.
flow.
Yeah, I prefer the hustle to the hustle and
Yeah.
flow myself.
Okay,
Yes.
there you
Did
go.
you know that
Start out here for pimp.
Terrence Howard is just a next level IQ Mensa genius?
Next time, baby.
God, yeah, right. There was not a next time.
Is that Ron Howard coming in?
Yeah.
Going back to Arrested Development.
Exactly.
Why are we talking about Terrence Howard?
Hustle and
Hustle
flow.
and flow. Yeah.
But then he has the one line in Iron Man where he's like, "Next time, baby." There was no next time.
Oops.
Yeah.
We got a better actor.
Yeah, they say maybe you shouldn't ask for so much money, dummy. I don't know.
Maybe they'll bring him back for like Doomsday or something.
Oh yeah, he just gets murdered off stage. Just kill him. Whatever. Here's your fucking money, dude. Here's your cameo money.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it looks like when Chris Hemsworth is funny. Because 1 year later, we would have a really poor attempt at Chris Hemsworth being funny. To the point where if you watch the movie that he's in, Ghostbusters 2016, you would not be convinced that he is funny at all.
Correct. Yeah. Meanwhile, when
Yeah.
he gets to shine in like Thor Ragnarok, you're like, oh, okay, yeah. Because I hadn't seen this. When Thor Ragnarok opened, that's when I was like, oh, he actually is funny. Okay, good.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious. And when I saw this movie, I was like, he's so funny in this movie. Like he plays that character perfect. And again,
Oh, yeah.
he never even makes light of the fact that he has a big dick, which is the funniest part of the entire thing. It's like, he's just like, I'll stand over here and stretch. I'm gonna stand over there and stretch. Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
It's lovely. Lovely stuff.
Yeah. Chris Hemsworth playing baseball without a bat.
Probably play hockey.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
With a stick.
You guys ever heard of a fucking limbo pole?
Yeah. I want to get frostbite.
Jeez. How did you get on your hands? No, not on my hands. On the next episode of the Chasing Chevy Chase podcast, like we've already alluded to a little bit, we will be talking about Memoirs of an Invisible Man, which is a Chevy Chase sci-fi movie. Sci-fi horror, I guess. I mean, it's a John Carpenter movie, so it's a Universal Monsters movie with Chevy Chase. What the actual fuck sentence is that? Until then, Mark Begley, where can people find you and the things that you put all of that lovely time of yours?
You can find my two shows, Wake Up Heavy and Cambridge and Washawn, over on weirdingwaymedia.com.
What about you, Mike White?
You can find my one show that I do over at readingwaymedia.com, which is the projection booth. How about you, Chris?
ReadingMaymedia.com. Go there, listen, consume, auditorially consume.
Hey.
Obey, yes.
Consume, obey. Yeah.
Speaking of John Carpenter, let's go.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, thinking of a good John Carpenter movie. Just weirdingwaymedia.com is where you can listen to everything I work on, including the Culture Cast and this show. More importantly, like, rate, and review this show on iTunes, please. Regardless of where you get it, iTunes is the best place for you to interact with us in a substantive way, unless you want to help us financially, which if you do, Mike has a Patreon, patreon.com/projection booth, and I have a Patreon, patreon.com/culturecast. Mark Begley doesn't because, and I quote, he don't need your stinking money. His words, not mine. Jog on. And as always, come back on the next episode when we talk about 1992's Memoirs of an Invisible Man.